Well,
Okay.
we're going live. Oh,
There we
we're
go.
live.
We're
Okay.
live. Okay. So we're
Midway
picking up the
through.
conversation.
Okay. All right.
So they set a time goal, or they are thinking about a time goal between 140 and 150, which is, again, huge, broad range.
Such a huge range.
What do they have to show for, what do they have in their history to even start with those numbers?
See, I don't even know yet because I don't have any of their stuff.
So they need to go do their magic mile.
Because I was trying to figure out which mic was mine.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, I'm going to pull up the V.02. So Jack Daniels V.02 calculator. And
here, I've got that on my, I've got that on my phone because I use it all the time. My mic is actually coming in and out. So I don't know if it's the cord, because that's what I was like fiddling with when it went off. But it'll pick it up on your mic too. Like, it's fine. It's totally fine. We're just having some technical difficulties today. This is just what we're doing.
So with if
it's
you
just
went
our
to
day.
either, Jeff Galloway's, or then you go to V.02, you put in a time that you've run for a specific distance. So like a great, way to look at that would be your 5K time. If they go and run 5K.
So I would say either a mile or a 5K, you want to use that. So and you want to use something recent. You don't want to use what you did,
best.
right? What
best.
you did a couple months ago or what you did 2 years ago. You could use that as a jumping off point, because you could say, okay, well, 2 years ago I did a 154. And right now the calculator is saying I can do a 159. Then 154 is probably a great goal for you at the end of that season, because starting from your fitness being a 159, getting up to that peak fitness that you've already had before of a 154, like that's very probable, very doable. If your best is a 201 and you're like, I want to be a 150, you're looking at 3 or 4 cycles. You really are. And like, then your current fitness is a 205. Like, you're not going to be able to get from your current fitness past your previous best in one cycle. Like,
right. And I think everything but the marathon, I would say, with V.02 is probably in line with your fitness for, like, unless you have if you're logging 30 to 40 miles a week right now, then it's probably close to, like, if you run.
I don't know. I've always found V.dot very, very good for predictions. Because like Sarah actually gets her marathon based on her shorter races. So I always get my marathon too.
I just put in what I ran for 5K, which was 25:47 over the weekend. And I think the half got up to the half is probably about right. 158, which my watch wants me to do a 154, which I think is a stretch. Marathon on V.02 says 405. We have to go compare what Jeff said.
You could have,
and my watch says 412, or 413, which I think is
I think your watch is closer on that one. Yeah. Whereas, like, it's funny, my half marathon time based on what I did, or my marathon time based on what I did over the weekend, says 429. My watch says 430. I truly think, even pregnant right now, I could probably go do that. Just because we did a 508 on that really hot day.
But I think you could do faster than a 211 half. That's like a
10-minute
mile.
I don't know.
You could do just a little under
I really don't know, because my pelvis.
Yeah.
So
I know. But I'm saying, like, with the times you ran. But I know, like, you probably couldn't run 430 either, because your pelvis right now. That's the problem.
I mean, that's the crazy
physically.
Thing. It's so crazy. Oh, you know what? My watch, it was all turned down. That was the problem with this mic.
Okay, well,
now I might be loud this time. It keeps turning itself down. That's what's going on.
Here, I'll turn mine down too.
Oh, no, don't, because you've been soft on all the episodes. So, and I feel like I talk louder.
Yeah.
See, it's turning itself down.
Weird. Her mic is haunted.
My mic is haunted.
Once again, we're having ghosts in the
machine.
Recording room.
Ghosts in the machine. Oh my God, it's turning itself down. It's the weirdest thing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. Hopefully it works.
Hopefully it works.
Because that's so weird.
We'll keep an eye. So. Okay, so with the V.02, I feel like the predictors, again, put in a recent time, and that's what you have to really come to grips with is, so for me, recent time of 25:47 and 5K, it says I should be able to race a 7:39 mile. And that's like, so a year ago or 6 months ago, I was able to we ran a 7:17 or 7:18.
Yeah, something like that.
And that was the same thing I'd run the year before. That's the fastest I've run since having Julian for a mile.
Yeah, for a straight mile.
And a 7:39 right now. Yeah, that's probably what I could race. And like, it's not what I want to be at, because yes, would I like to drop below that 7:18? Yeah.
Well, and
what's the reality right
something to bring up about the Magic Mile is it's not an all out, the hardest you can run like mile where like you're puking at the end.
No.
It's 90%, 85 to 90% effort, because you've got a rest of the workout to finish after that Magic Mile. So that's something else.
Which is just a cool down though.
Yeah. But you then you can't be spent for 4 days afterwards. Oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy.
Should we hit pause?
It just keeps turning itself off. It's just the weirdest thing ever. It like doesn't want to hear me today.
Is it plugged in? Is it like
it is? No, everything is plugged in. It's just that this keeps turning itself down, I guess. I don't know. Or it just doesn't like how loud I talk. And it's like, no, this is how loud you should be. Maybe that's on auto. Oh my God, it literally just did it again. But maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine and I shouldn't worry about it.
Hopefully it'll sound okay. Oh my gosh.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, I talk loud. It's totally fine.
So this weekend we had a 5K, and we had run a 5K 2 weeks before. And your thought was like, can I run faster 2 weeks further into pregnancy? And
I thought I did.
You did.
But then we realized we actually ran 28.
Is it a second or 2 seconds?
It was 2 seconds. It was 2 seconds slower this time,
which is the same rounding error.
It's the same,
it's
but
a tangent.
But you know what? I actually ran faster for the first 2 miles this race than I did the last one. I was just the hills. I just kind of gave up on the hills on this race because it didn't feel good, and I didn't want it to not feel good. Like, I hate to say that, like. I wanted it to feel what it felt like, and I didn't want it to feel bad.
And the hills at that particular 5K are really hard. And what I went and noticed, so like in my mind, I was like, okay, what can I do? What am I capable of? I have no idea at this point, and I'm not doing any real training right now, right? I'm also not in the shape that some seasons you come off of a PR marathon and you go, and I've done this before, where you go and PR. A 5K 2 weeks later, PR a half marathon 3 weeks later, whatever. That's not the shape that I knew. I was not in that shape, like at this particular, probably given like what we ran last time, how I felt. I was like, I can probably run somewhere around 8:15 pace, which was, I looked it up, it was like going to be a 25:30. And, so it's a time goal that has a correlation to where my fitness is right now.
Right.
But obviously not a time goal that's like anything close to a PR for me, or even like a PR in recent years since having my
But it was a good time goal based on your current fitness.
Right.
Because you were like really good at being like, oh, this is where I am right now. I'm going to go run where I am right now.
Yeah. And I'm not going to go out and blast the first mile.
Yeah.
So last year I did this race it's my current like postpartum PR of a 24:06. And that one, it was that Yeti challenge. And that day was the run a PR mile.
Yeah.
So I ran that first mile in like a 7:18, which again, like I've done now 4 of those in the last 2 years or 3 years since having Julian, and nothing faster. And so then the next 2 miles slowed down. And so the difference was this time I set out I started with you, and we started further back, and we started slower.
We should not have started that far back because
it was really crowded.
It was really crowded, and like my foot speed doesn't I need to remember that even like if I'm running a 9-minute mile, like my running is going to be faster. And I'm going to be like caught up by people, Yeah. So I need to like remember that, because I like zoomed past Marcy at some point.
Right.
And she was like, man, you're running fast. I was like, yeah, but I'm doing 30-30. So
yeah,
it won't be for long.
And I've never, this particular race, I've almost always had a 30-second faster first mile than the second mile because of the hills. But so this time was the first time I decided I was going to use 4 or 5K. I was going to actually use intervals. So that's something different
the whole time,
time. And like true intervals, like short intervals. So I settled on 60/20s. I mean, I picked 60/20s without knowing if that could generate 8:15s. It's like 60/20.
Yeah, of course.
Sounds
That's
about
like
right.
90/30s.
Right.
Yeah.
So for us, that's about that. And stuck with the intervals the whole time. And, I still had a slower second and third mile that compared to the first, but my drop was only 19 seconds off versus 30.
Well, and I think that drop would have happened anyway, just
Because
based on the course. Yeah. So just based on the course, like that's what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was it was a practice. This 5K was like a good, test of not my, old time fitness, but a test of my current fitness combined with trying out intervals for an entire 5K, because normally a lot of 5Ks I'll run straight. And then it was a really good pacing practice one, because my prior times running this, the only time that I paced as well, actually, I don't think there's any time I paced as well, but the time of pace almost as well was when I was 28 weeks pregnant. And I still had a 20-second drop, but it was like 25-second drop between the miles.
Yeah.
But so I haven't done a really good job of pacing.
I forgot that
5Ks.
I forgot that on Strava
you
can do
so
the
go
match
to the top and search.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or go to the top and search for that is it. And then click on it and see your match runs. And so I've run this one anywhere from average of 7:37.
I've only run this one other time apparently.
Okay. I've done it 4 times. So 7:37 was my fastest, and then an 8:37 at 28 weeks. So this one fell right in the middle at 8:07.
Oh yeah. So the last time I ran this one, my calves cramped, like it was February.
That's when I was pregnant.
And my legs like just got real, like they just cramped up really bad. So I went out in a 7:16 and then 8:18 and 8:37. Hey, but I did that last 0.01 in a 6:36. And guess what I did in the last 0.16 of this race, a 6:23.
Wow.
So I was faster pregnant finishing this off. Oh my gosh, this mic is driving me crazy. It keeps turning itself all the way down. That's just what it's going to be. Oh, well.
Oh no, I hope we sound okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, that last finish line kick. And that's what I also like noticed with this.
This course has
it, but also like comparatively, when I was faster overall, like, I still have pretty good foot speed right now, even though I'm not as fast as I, have been in the past. So,
I would say it's possible that your foot speed is actually
even a little
faster now than it was, because you used to struggle to keep up with my kick, and you don't struggle as much on like when I'm like, let's go, like, and I turn it on, like you don't struggle as much. So
yeah,
I mean, I would say, the shorter intervals have definitely like helped with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then your time goal, like, even though you didn't,
I
2 seconds slower.
Yeah. I just wanted to run about the same. I would have liked to be a little faster. I think New Year's, like I'm going to try. I'm just knowing the course. I'm going to like kind of mentally get it together and see if I can't run faster on New Year's. I have a plan to do some treadmill work, because that always helps me with my running faster for longer. Do a little treadmill work, do a little like speed work. I also need to do some running slower, longer for racing 5Ks right now, because sure, I can do 15:30s all day long and kind of get into the 10s, but I want to be faster. So I need to, and like, I can't just run 15:15s or whatever. Like I need the 30-second walk. So I need to like really get that. I really need to get to where I'm doing 60:30s and can like do that at that 8:45 pace. So that's the work I need to be doing. So
yeah. So I think
we'll see how it all works out.
Yeah. So I think that, that's a good thing that we've kind of reframed around, and obviously it's pretty easy to reframe when you're pregnant, because it's
for sure
a pretty obvious reason why you're not running the paces you used to. But even for me to reframe everything, and actually to really go out, and both with Frosty and with Sienna 2 weeks ago, like go out and have so much fun being part of the running community.
Oh, it's
being
been a
at
blast.
5K,
Like,
yeah, it has been so fun.
that has really been like the best part about going out to these races and running. It's been like seeing everybody and just like it's also nice. Like I told Brian, oh, I'm leaving at like 7 and I'll be home at 10.
I
We
know,
were
right?
home by like 9. It's awesome how fast they
How
go.
short like it is to get
Yeah.
to a 5K. And what like it was funny because I used to really wrap my mind around times. That was really a big thing for me. And it was funny because we were standing there at the finish watching people come in and like, and waiting for friends to come in and stuff. And like the clock's going obviously, and the clock says like 37. And in my mind, I'm like, that's so great. That's still fast, so fast. I
Yeah.
told Amanda when she came in with the double stroller, like how fast she's running with the double stroller. And she's like, oh, it was 11 something. She was like, what's the word? Like, not apologizing, but when you,
Yeah.
like
I know what you
yourself
mean.
down on
She
the
was just
time.
like,
And I'm like, with the
oh,
double
this is
stroller.
just what it is. Like, yeah, I
And
mean, but it's all about enjoying the time that you're out there versus getting a time. And I mean, I don't know. It's participation.
it
When we
is
were leaving and we
participation.
saw people still walking it in, I was like, how cool that people are coming to do this. People are
Yes.
coming to walk in a 5K. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and like, I don't know, my mindset shifted completely to where I like literally standing there and thinking, a 27 minute and a 37 minute are the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
I know like when you're going for a goal, you obviously have this mindset, like I want to hit X, whatever, but it's not, it's about participating. It's about, being out there and trying, and, it doesn't matter what the number is. It really doesn't. And I think there was a point where I was much more like elitist with numbers.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
probably.
under 30 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
and
I
now I'm
mean,
just like, you finished.
you finished. That's what matters. Yeah. I mean, I'm still a little competitive just in the sense that like I want to personally like work on, getting back to some fitness, but I know that right now I'm not going to see anything happen in my times during pregnancy. All I'm going to see is my baby is going to grow. And then kind of after pregnancy is when I'm going to reap those rewards. In the season or 2 or 3 after
Right.
is like kind of when I'm going to see like, okay, all the work I did during pregnancy is now paying off. And so, yeah, so but hopefully it actually will. And then I do think about that like kind of every day. I'm like, well, if I really want this to pay off, I need to be investing a little bit more, but I'm so tired that it's also like I don't I need to like balance that. I need to figure out how to just do it, like especially with strength work because I know that strength work is really what's going to pay off in the long run. This is driving me crazy because of the lights.
I think we can hear you.
The lights are it's the lights. It's like just stay. The lights keep changing and like but yeah, I'm sure the sound sounds great and there's no problem at all. But it's that the lights keep blinking basically. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I like that is definitely an investment I need to figure out how to make is actually doing some strength work during pregnancy because I don't want to look back and be like, oh, well, I was going to do all this strength work and then I didn't. And now I'm in this hole. So,
yeah, I think your body will be where it is either way, though. Like after pregnancy, I saw that my memory, those like things pop up, those memories pop up, and it was my Strava for 2020, my Strava Wrapped or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And it said my longest run was 13.1. It was Donald Duck's half in January. That was my longest run of 2020. I never got back to anything over 10 miles after pregnancy. And it's because life. I mean, it just I couldn't get back to those longer distance runs during that postpartum period. But
yeah, but I just mean like I'm worried about injuries popping up, right? And so that's where the investment into strength training to prevent injuries is really, really important. And that's what I need to be doing. So yeah.
Like, and you mentioned, I should do some strength tonight, like when we ran yesterday. And so yesterday I did get like after because basically when I got back to work, I did not get to eat lunch. I did not get to shower. And so I was, at 6 o'clock, I'd gotten the kids home and I went and did a strength workout. I had eaten something by then, but so I did a strength workout, and it was like you're saying it, that little kick and that little nudge I needed, the motivation to do some strength. And so I tried it's like a boxing workout that I just looked like fun, and then core. And so my with the boxing there was lifting too. And so my adductors and thighs are shredded from all the squats. I was like, Julian, can you help me pick up stuff off the floor last night?
Yeah.
So it was good. Like, yeah, that little kick. I know you like. I need to be that accountability partner for you, or you need.
I know. I closed last night, and so I was so tired by the time I got home that it was just like I was just so tired. All I wanted to do was go to bed, and so. And lay on the couch. And so I need to kind of like put it into my schedule and do the strength workouts. And, especially like I was doing them, I was into a rhythm, and then we put the Christmas up. So all my strength stuff came downstairs. And so it's also now I have to come downstairs, and downstairs is kind of co-opted by the studio a lot of time. And so I feel like when I'm like, oh, I'll go use the basement. Oh, there's band practice. Oh, I'll go use the basement. Oh, I'm playing light show.
Do body weight strength, or bring up one set of weights.
Because I don't know about that.
Like do body weight strength, like you don't even need anything to do like a lot of the strength. I know like the 10-minute core I did was just body weight, obviously. And like the kickboxing or whatever it was, shadow boxing.
A lot of the pregnancy stuff though, you can't, has weights because it's all whatchamacallit, rows and hamstring. It's all backer. It's all the back of your body, because that's what you really need to focus on during pregnancy. Like, because apparently hamstrings are part of pushing with the pelvic floor and everything. So, so like that's the other piece of it is I can't just do any strength. So like there's also the analysis paralysis, like decision paralysis of like picking a workout to do. So I wish Peloton had like a pregnancy week by week program that basically you can just jump in based on the weeks pregnant you are.
They should really do that.
They really should. They should do a 40-week prenatal program.
But also like remember that the strength workouts and stuff in there, they're not necessarily looking at you and thinking, oh, she's a runner. So they're saying, make sure your hamstrings are strong. Like, girl, your hamstrings are strong already.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any problem. I didn't do any strength with
my
season. I didn't probably pushing. That was easy.
But I mean, I am having what's it called? Piriformis, like pain. Yeah. So like that's like a weak area right now that like I notice it. Right. And then
especially because and running has dropped down. Mileage
down. Yeah. Oh, my mileage is way down. Like I will be lucky to hit 50 miles this month. I'm going to do it, which is good. But I mean, I didn't hit it in my first month of, August I was 40, but November in my recovery month, I was 36 miles. Yeah. And so right now I'm at 34 miles. So I have, a little ways to go to be able to get that 50 miler, but I think I can do it, So that's kind of like my little goal is I'll get to 50 miles this month, and then I'll see how much my pelvis can really handle, because we ran 3.5 miles yesterday and I was sore. Like my pubic symphysis was sore. No. It's fine. It's not super bad, but it's enough to be annoying. Yeah. And then once that's sore, it kind of makes everything else kind of feel out of balance and sore. So yeah.
Yeah. So definitely need some. That's like the hip girdle is what you need to strengthen and work on. And
but
there's definitely like